Welcome to the Swirl Suite, everybody. Happy Wine Wednesday. On this episode of the Swirl Suite, this is going to be a review episode. So we are reviewing a wine from Fetzer in California. Fetzer has a new sustainability program and they have brand new labels, and they sent us cute water bottles too. So we are going to review the Gewurztraminer and talk a little bit more about that grape. All right, let us know what you think. Cheers. Tanisha, you were giving us an update on Paris and why it's 67 degrees, which is crazy.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like maybe 72 tomorrow, so we're excited.
Wow. We would love that right now.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But it hasn't been warm this summer. Like we haven't really gotten to 80.
Because nobody's been able to go out.
No, we're out.
We're in the street. The global warming and all the cars back on the Beltway, and you can't get around town.
Interesting. That's an interesting.
We are back here in these streets. People are everywhere, but it's August, so people aren't out now. Now everything is like, since this is the second week of August, most things are closed or closing up. And they'll be back open last week of August, first week of September. So I actually really enjoy Paris in August because the things are closed and it's not as many people, so I get to enjoy stuff. But it's different this year because I've been enjoying it because it's been not that many people here. So it's been quiet all year. But July was cool. July was a little lit, so that was fun. It just came back from the south, was in the south of France, was in Provence, Marseille, and Cassis.
Oh my gosh.
So those places will be popping up on the gram this week.
So what did you do? What did you do there?
Girl, you know I drank wine.
Well, of course.
So went to visit 3 wineries. One I did a program with before, Domaine Saint-Amand. I did a wine box partnership with them. So finally got out to their property. I did a reel on my visit to their place, and that's on IG. And then visited Chien Bleu, which is I guess like a high-end luxury wine. They actually just won an award for their wine packaging. Amazing. And it's owned by a woman and her husband. The woman, Nicole Rollet, she is from New York, so she's American, and her husband is I think he's French, but he lived in the UK for a while and worked in the UK for a while, but I believe he's French. And since they're in the south, their main grape is Grenache for the red, and then the white, it's a lot of Viognier and Marsanne Roussin. The place is fantastic. They have a wild boar spa.
What does that mean?
So they have a lot of wild boars in the area, and so they just made a water area for them, so that they would.
The spa is for them.
Yes, it's for them. Wow. So if they're out in the spa part, then they won't come up on the property.
Oh, okay. So what will they do if they do come in contact with humans?
Well, one, scare humans. That's one. 2, they will dig up stuff. So you can see holes around from where they have come up. So they'll just dig up like the grass, the dirt, everything. They'll dig it up.
Wow. Are the boars the animal of preference that digs for truffles?
Maybe trained ones, but I can't speak on that with any certainty.
Okay.
Then they also have a bee. I don't think you can call it a sanctuary, but they have an area for bees, because bees do something really amazing for the environment and for the biodiversity and things. So they had several bee, you know the word for it, bee things out. And so that was cool to see. Then walked in the vines, they had some sunflowers and a garden. And so,
this sounds absolutely magical.
It was amazing. That place is beautiful. And the owner wasn't there. She was like, Tanisha, I'm so sad I won't ever, I still won't get to meet you. So she Skyped in. And so we talked to her, but she Skyped in.
Was this a vacation? Was it like a planned media trip?
No, this was a vacation. Nice. And since I was going to be around them, I was like, oh, well, I'll just pop in because, this is like vacation for me. So did that. Then in Cassis, met a guy. He used to be a soccer player and he now owns a winery. And so went there, saw their property and got to taste the wines. And that was, their wines are delicious. And he signed my bottle. And
nice.
So that was cool. So I'll be posting about that too. The wines are white and rosé, and the rosé is very clear. Like you have to look at it next to the white to know that it's rosé.
Oh man.
So, yeah, very good. And then Marseille is, a major city like Paris, but like gritty. Did a little boat ride out there, a ferry to, me and how I'm into crime and prison and all that stuff. So went to this chateau that used to be a prison. And if you've heard of or read the book, The Count of Monte Cristo, in that book, he talks about a place called Chateau d'If, and that's where we went. And so went to go tour that place. That was cool to see. What else? And then when Anthony Bourdain was in Marseille, he talked about their pizza scene. So we had pizza with a friend of mine who lives in Marseille. And then we had some wine from his family's vineyard. And yeah, it was a cool time. And then I came back and was like, oh, shoot, I'm in my own apartment.
So, man.
Too bad Glennis isn't here because when she was in Marseille, she went to, I had left the trip by then, but she did go to the prison area.
Okay. It's cool to see because I was like, wait, this is a prison? I'm like, this doesn't suck. But then I looked at the actual cells. I was like, okay, this part might suck.
So a question, this sounds really nice. Would you can someone pay you to do all of this for them? Plan this whole trip for them? Can someone pay? Okay.
Yes. And they can pay me to do that. And also my new thing that I'm working on now is doing guides for these places. So writing it up and it being for sale on my website. So for however much.
That's excellent.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Doing okay, if you have 32 hours in Marseille, what do you do? Or if you have this many hours in Champagne, what do you do? So I want to write this up.
Yeah.
The thing about this area though is you need a car. Unlike Paris, you can come to Paris and not have a car. But there you kind of really need a car if you're going to be there longer than a day.
And so are Americans comfortable driving in this area?
They should be, yes.
Okay.
Now, you will pay more for your car because most Americans can't drive a stick, and so they will need an automatic. And automatic is not a common car here.
Okay.
So anytime you rent an automatic, it is going to cost significantly more. You'll look it up and be like, oh, snap, rental cars are cheap because it'll be $19, $25 a day. And then you'll be like, oh, but automatic. And they're like, okay, $95. And you're like,
okay. Got you.
Devastating.
Well, I actually don't like to drive, so could I pay somebody to drive me around?
You could. Yeah.
Okay.
You always can pay somebody to drive you around.
Okay. You can always find it. You can always get a reliable driver.
Got you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because some of these roads are back roads. Because on our way up, we went up a mountain to get to this one town as we were up Mount Ventoux. The girl driving thought she was gonna die. She got so stressed out. I thought we were gonna have to fight.
Oh no.
She was just so stressed out by the driving part. Because we literally were driving up the side of a mountain and some of the roads weren't necessarily paved.
Oh.
And she was like, but I don't know where I'm going. I was like, I don't either. I literally
listen, you behind the wheel panicking is not gonna help any of us.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know either. I don't know these surroundings. I've never been here. All I have is GPS. And sometimes when you go in the mountains and stuff, the GPS doesn't move as fast as you do.
Right.
So that dot is not giving you what it needs to give you. So I'm like, all I know is turn left, not down this side street, but the other street that we're passing, right? That we're passing that street over there. But yeah.
Well, my goodness. Well, I'm glad you made it.
Right. We made it. It was fine.
Well, I forgot to talk about my trip to Charlottesville last week on the show. But so I spent 2 days in Charlottesville. It was Monticello Wine Media. It said day, but it was days. So it was 2 days. It was myself and me and Shayla from Black Girls Wine were the only two people of color on there on the trip. But I don't know, if I had to say, maybe 15, 20 people were there, maybe more, no more than 25. but mostly writers from the Virginia area. Even though Dave McIntyre was there, him and his wife. Anyway, it was a really good trip. I realized how bored I was with some of the selections that I was choosing, like during the pandemic and just being home all the time. I think I was drinking the same type of wine.
Right.
And I think that trip just showed me how exciting wine is and why I fell for it in the first place. So Charlottesville was awesome. The food was great. Their wines were
So like,
really,
what was
really
your
good.
favorite like new discovery? Or what were you reintroduced to?
Everything from the Chardonnays to some beautiful Cab Francs. A lot of Tanats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Virginia does
did you have a petite Manseng?
Oh, I did. Yeah, it was a whole seminar on petite Manseng and how balanced it can be, even though it's known to be really sweet. But yeah, it was some really good ones too. It's not petite Manseng is not something that I would typically go for, but they were really well done, extremely balanced.
It's I haven't seen it outside of this area. It's very regional. Yeah. Especially to Virginia.
Yeah. But it was good. It was they chose let's see, our first stop was we went to King Family Farms on the second day, and then the day before that we went to Afton Mountain, and I'm forgetting one winery. What's the biggest one? The Italian one. What's the name of that one? Y'all know what I'm talking about. We don't. It'll come back to me. But no, it was a good time. It was a good time.
Was it Jefferson?
No, not Jefferson.
She said Italian.
Oh, Fabiola?
No, not Fabiola.
Well, I'm going to
Barboursville. Sorry, Barboursville.
Oh, Barboursville. Okay.
Okay, because that's Italian, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I wasn't thinking of that.
Yeah.
Right.
So is Charlottesville? Is that the region in Virginia? I mean, if people had to choose, is that where they should go for Virginia wine?
Well, there's so many to choose from, but yeah, it's a major one. I'd say that.
Okay.
It's a major one. It's so much to do. It's good food, good restaurants. And I think what sucks about Virginia versus like Napa or even the Finger Lakes, everything is far apart. So you're going up and down mountains, curved roads and whatnot to get to one winery to the other. When we went to one winery to the other, it was 30 minutes. So I think that if I were to do a Virginia like tour, I would get a driver just so I could, be loose and drink what I want as much as I want and, stay safe. So, yeah.
So your advice is always have a driver for things. If we don't get anything else from your conversation, you got to have a driver.
If it includes wine, I don't think that type of pressure should be on one person to drive you everywhere.
Also, it's just nice to have a driver anyway, so you don't have to worry about literally anything. You could just do whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, split it up amongst the group, and
it's honestly not that expensive. I mean, if you think about what like an accident or a DUI costs, or just your stress level.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, a driver's super cheap.
Yeah. And see, the thing is, if you were, especially, it's not that expensive, especially if you're staying in the area. They pick you up from the hotel and take you back there. So that's my suggestion. So let's talk about Fetzer. So Fetzer has a new label.
They sent y'all some wine?
Yeah, they have a new label. It's really cute. And so they sent us 2 wines. They sent us.
Show it to me.
So it's I opened the Gewurztraminer.
Me too. I didn't open the shard.
Yeah, no.
Let me hold on. I'll get the shard.
Yeah.
They have a shard. Just trust me on that one, Tanisha.
Okay. I believe you.
But so they have this new sustainability program. Their entire winery is sustainable. They are a certified B Corporation. According to Fetzer, sustainability matters, one glass at a time. Better is always possible, so we do all we can one glass at a time. We focus on people and the planet to keep our spirits high. Impact's big and footprints are small. Fetzer is a B Corporation, a certified B Corporation. Certified B Corporations are a community of committed leaders driving a global movement towards building a more inclusive, sustainable economy that benefits everyone. This conscious business structure balances purpose and profit and meets some of the highest verified standards of social and environmental performance, transparency, and accountability. They're all about saving water. They also gave us a glass water bottle, and we download this app. Every time we fill a water bottle, I guess we click the app and they will donate fresh water to a place that needs it.
Which is super cool.
It's very cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Super cool.
Yeah. So go Fetzer. I have a special place in my heart for Fetzer because when I first got into wine, I thought I was showing off if I bought something from Fetzer.
Really? Was there a particular varietal, or it was just the brand itself?
If I'm not mistaken, they used to make a Riesling. Do they still make a Riesling? But I know I used to buy the Gewurztraminer all the time, and they do make a Riesling. Yeah. So it was a Riesling and the Gewurztraminer. Those two I used to splurge on back in the day.
Yeah, Fetzer was definitely a brand I drank early on.
Mm-hmm.
Just being like, okay, yes, Fetzer, I'm doing it. Mm-hmm.
And it's cool because it's something you can find in a grocery store.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of funny because this is my first time having it.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of feel embarrassed now.
Oh no.
But my life is sheltered in general, so.
Right. It ain't from Maryland. You don't know it.
I don't know it.
Can we talk about Gewurztraminer really quick?
Yes.
How do y'all feel about Gewurztraminer?
I love it. I think it's underrated, and it often falls, unfortunately, in the shadow of Riesling. That's my personal opinion, and not the views of the Swirl Suite.
No, agree. And also, real talk, I think it's really something to be said about people not wanting to order it or ask for it because they can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
So, they try to come up with like nicknames or shorten it, but yeah.
I actually I like Gewurztraminer. It once I read the wine books and they said that even though it can be on the sweeter side, pair it with something spicy. I was in love ever since. So that's always been my thing. Now it's not something that I have very often, but when I'm eating ramen or some spicy Thai or something, I always go for either a Riesling. And you're right, Leslie, it falls under Riesling. I always go for the Riesling first, but Gewurztraminer is behind it.
Now, when this is another first for me, but generally when I have a Gewurz, it's often very bone dry. And this is the first one that I've had that is fruity.
Wow.
And like an off dry one. So it was, when I had it, I was like, are we sure this is Gewurztraminer? Because I've always had it in a very dry expression.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Now, Tanisha, is there a lot of Gewurz in Paris since it's one of the Grand Cru grapes of Alsace?
Yeah, we can find Alsatian ones for sure.
Got you.
Also, I think when it comes to, a lot of people will say that they don't drink white wine often. So if you're talking to your average consumer, they'll say that they drink a lot more red wine. And if they do drink white, I think your whites are usually more of the typical Riesling, Chardonnay, Pinot Gris, Sauvignon Blanc for sure.
Yeah.
And so you don't even hear them talk about Gewurztraminer. I think that's not kind of in their even mind's eye or something that they think about when they think about drinking white wines. And I think that goes back to Leslie's point. It gets shadowed by Riesling because the flavor profiles are similar. And yeah, people don't know what to drink it with. It's weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Glennis.
Welcome.
Glennis.
Hey, girl.
Yeah, I'm on my cell phone at a restaurant sitting outside when I realized I was supposed to be on this. I'm actually, and they have these streeteries, so it's actually not a cookout. So that's what you hear certain restaurants in this area now. But
nice.
They are not serving Fetzer, and I don't have my Fetzer with me. But I said, let me call in anyway. Yeah. Because I have to be a responsible Swirl Suite adult. I ditto everything that has been said. Most people can't pronounce it. So it's hard for them to go sit down in a restaurant and order it.
Yeah.
Without feeling embarrassed or feeling like they should know how to pronounce it. And if they've been drinking, hell, if they have drunk, they sure won't be able to pronounce it.
Right.
And I do agree it falls in along with the Riesling grape. To me, it has some of the same acidity. So, yeah. But I will go back to the conversation about the conference a little later.
Oh.
I'm going on mute.
Okay. Gewurztraminer is one of the most aromatic grapes that I've come in contact with. I almost always love the nose on a Gewurz, and this one, peaches, apricots, rose petals, honeysuckle. I mean, everything sweet, everything luscious, everything juicy.
Juicy.
I would say that if somebody was looking to expand their palate, and you were a Riesling fan, or you were just in a wine rut, I think this is a great alternative.
So I have a few questions. So you guys just give me your straight up answer. And it's how you feel about the wine that you're drinking. Gewurztraminer. What season reminds you of this wine? Winter, spring, summer, fall?
Fall. I don't know why, but just fall.
Okay.
Because I don't think summer, because I usually, when I think summer wine, I think a little more crispness and maybe citrus flavors, maybe not so much the aromatics. But with this having a little bit of spice on the finish and it having those nice fruit flavors, I think more fall.
What about you, Leslie?
Well, I was gonna say fall, but Tanisha took it. So
okay,
you can say fall too, girl. You can co-sign. It's okay.
I'm gonna say autumn.
Okay.
Yes. And why autumn? What do you think about why autumn?
It's those underlying spices that I think reminds me of autumn. Like there's a little I don't want to say cinnamon, but type of like allspice that's on the back palate that you pick up. You think of like a cider, not a cider per se, but the spices that you would have in a warm cider. That's what makes me think of.
Yeah, like a bacon spice.
Yeah.
Glennis, what about you?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Oh, what season does Gewurztraminer remind you of? Winter, spring, summer, or fall?
I would do. I agree with the ladies, and I would say I wouldn't say a specific season, but Thanksgiving for me, because I would do it with turkey and my cranberry sauce, and just because of those spices, I like that mix for me. I would say Thanksgiving.
Okay,
that's awesome.
Because in that like October to end of November, in that season, it goes well with all of that. So.
I feel like Thanksgiving is a season though, so we can go with that. I feel like there is a Thanksgiving season.
Yeah.
So let's
I actually get I'm getting spring because the first thing I notice is the florals.
Okay.
So yeah, so the flowers, and like spring just reminds me of flowers. So that's my explanation. Yeah.
All right. That works.
Okay. Yeah. So what kind of personality would you give Gewurztraminer? What kind of voice would you give it? So I have 3 singers and you match the singer with Gewurztraminer.
Okay. I was going to say, I hope this is multiple choice.
Okay. Patti LaBelle.
No.
So is it in your face? You know,
No.
notes. Okay. Gladys Knight, kind of sultry.
Okay.
You know? Diana Ross, showy, but
Gladys Knight.
Gladys Knight. Okay.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say Dionne Warwick as the last one. I don't know why, but I thought that was just you were going to
she would fit.
It would have been a little harder. Yeah.
I would actually
say Diana Ross. You know who I was thinking?
Who?
Okay, so don't confuse the performer with the voice.
Uh-oh.
I was thinking Janet
Lady
Jackson.
Gaga. Oh. Okay.
Oh. Huh.
Because you know her voice is really soft and yeah, she's soft spoken. I mean, excellent performer, but that's what I would think of with the Gewurztraminer. But Diana Ross, definitely. Who has a new song out? I don't know if you guys have heard that.
Diana Ross?
Yes.
I have not.
Huh.
It's called
That's
Thank You. It's cute.
How about that? Glennis, what were you about to say?
I was about to say, if you really go with, not thinking with the actual performers octave in their singing, but I was going to say Patti for her flamboyancy when you think about all the notes that you talked about a little bit earlier, Sarita. So with all the florals, you know, Patti LaBelle could be very floral in her wear and how she expresses herself. So I was going to say Patti LaBelle in that sense.
Yeah. Very good point.
That's
a very good point. I chose Diana Ross for that same reason, but she kind of has this soft, kind of sweet voice. But when you look at her, it's like the hair and the clothes and the shine and all of that. So yeah.
And I said Gladys Knight because she has the voice, she has the sultry tone, she has that, but I feel like she is not widely known. She is known to people who know, people who like maybe who really enjoy wine or who talk about wine. And I feel the same about Gewurztraminer. It's not widely known, its flavor profile and what it matches with. So thinking of underrated, it's not the word, but it's more people in the know. And so that's what made me think Gladys Knight.
No, that's a good point. Okay, last question. Who would you want to share a Gewurztraminer with? Family, friends, wine friends, or coworkers?
I'm gonna say coworkers because I work alone, so I could drink the whole bottle.
I
don't have no coworkers.
Tanisha, I was about to say, why do I gotta share with any of them? Why can't I just have it by myself?
I'm like, I don't have any coworkers. Hermes Glass is a one-woman operation. But I can share it with y'all as my wine friends.
Okay.
But I don't know, Sarita drink too much, so she might take too much out the
Here
bottle.
you go. Listen, you listen, all y'all can outdrink me. So any day.
Really, Sarita, we going out?
I'm clutching my pearls.
It has been shown. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'll drink with y'all and be hurting. And y'all, good morning. Nope. Not a good morning.
Not the good morning. Sorry, that was hysterical.
What's your answer, Leslie?
I would say my wine friends or Eric Benet. You know, one of the other.
Okay, I don't think he was a choice.
This Eric Benet fetish.
Oh my goodness gracious!
On the list, Leslie.
One day he's gonna be on the Swirl Suite, and you're gonna thank me.
I'm sorry, you have to say more about Eric Benet. Where did Eric Benet come from?
Oh my God,
Eric he was Benet choice E. Like, you didn't give an E, so she gave one.
Right, exactly. He is my future ex-husband, guys. I don't think you understand.
Okay.
Wow, Leslie.
Okay. I don't know what else to say about that.
Wow. Okay.
Director Glenn is here.
I was about to say, Leslie, don't slip him no Mickey in the garage.
Oh,
You know she is.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
He's finna wake up real confused. Like, I don't understand.
Oh my goodness. For me, I would share this with probably family, because I feel like not a whole lot of my family drinks wine, and this is a people pleaser. I think Gewurztraminer is great for pleasing everybody. So it has enough like interesting notes and like layers of flavor to satisfy us who want to study it. And then it's sort of sweet. So, you know, everybody will be happy. So that's
voila.
Thanks for joining the Swirl Suite, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this review episode. Be sure to check out Fetzer's website and learn all about their new sustainability program. And their wines are classic. The Gewurztraminer is a beautiful wine. Let us know what you think of this episode. Leave us a comment on wherever you listen to your podcasts, at Swirl Suite on all social media, or at swirlsuite@gmail.com. Cheers.